to I Can Make That. This is Jen, and today I wanted to show you some new products that are out. This one here is the Zig Clean Color Real Brush System. I guess it's not exactly brand new, but it's new to me, and I think that it is a really fantastic coloring system for watercoloring. The brush tip makes it so easy to go ahead and blend colors together, and you're able to put colors together on the brush without worrying about ruining any of the colors. You can blend them without any problem at all. You can use them directly on the paper, or you can use an aqua painter or any kind of blender pen. This is from Michaels. It's called Tropical Life, and I just think it's a lot of fun. I'm going to use it with the plumerias that I made in a previous video, and I'm going to use this toucan. And I'm also going to use this Strathmore mixed media paper. It is really great for using the Zig Clean Color brushes on. It's smooth and it's meant for water or dry media. So I'm going to start out by inking up my stamp with Versamark. And I'm going to add black embossing powder. This one is a fine embossing powder from Stampin' Up. Any fine embossing powder should work great. And I'm going to heat set this. This is my Ranger heated craft tool. I love this tool because I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm working, and I actually don't have to turn off my audiobook when I want to emboss something, because this is the quietest gun that I have found. Alright, so I'm going to begin blending some colors together here. I've got my orange down in here, and I'm going to just go straight with these colors right now. I could use my water brush, but I would rather just see this more bold and bright. Alright, so I'm pulling in, and you can see how these just blend together. Same with this bottom piece here. And I'm going to go ahead with this and bring that color out. Now, depending how rich you want your color to be, you can go in with the water brush, and you can pull the colors around just to make it a little bit lighter, a little bit more of a watercolor look. But I really want this bird to pop and be very bold, so I'm just going to go ahead and basically color it in. Got a little bit of a watercolor look here. You can see how nicely it'll move around on the paper. The nice thing is that even after this dries, you can go back in and add more color to it if you want to darken it up at all. Alright, so I picked up some of the water that was extra here. I dabbed it and then I heat set it, and now I'm just going to add a little bit more black in here. To get it nicely blended. And there we have it. Now I'm going to try another version of this using StazOn instead of embossing powder, just to see if that makes any difference. And actually this paper is the White Recollections paper instead of the mixed media from Strathmore. So using the same colors, I just want to see how it blends on this paper. Alright, so here we have our two images side by side. This one on the left was embossed and it was colored with the markers on the Strathmore paper. This one here was colored on a Recollections paper and it was using StazOn and not an embossing powder. Definitely you can see the pilling, especially in the green. So again, not meant for watercoloring, so I'm not surprised. Overall it was okay, but definitely I think this is the way to go. I'm also going to stamp a couple of leaves, and I'm going to color those in real quick with the green and then cut them out by hand. Okay, so I've colored these, I've cut them out, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip them all over. I'm going to mist them with a little water. And then I'm going to come in with a medium-sized clay tool. And I'm going to, in circular motions, pull this up. Okay, I'm going to flip it. Just a little bit there, maybe a little bit at the tip there. And this is going to give my leaf a three-dimensional look. This is the same kind of way that you do the flower shaping. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut out my toucan image here using the old Creative Memories system, which is still my favorite system. I tried a whole lot of different ones and I just can never find anything that I like as much as this one. So fortunately you can still get it on eBay. Okay, and I'm going to also cut out a second frame to go around this image here. So I have a couple of papers I picked up at the scrapbooking show. This is Utopia from Authentique, and I have a couple of sheets I've chosen out of this package here. I have this one, which I think looks very Polynesian. I think it's going to be very fun. And then I also have this one, which I'm going to use as a real thin border around my toucan. So I just went back in and I cut this, and I cut that with the biggest blade, and then I actually went back and cut this a little bit smaller because I wanted to see this paper a little bit more. Also, I am super disappointed, but as you can see, my black was smearing when I was moving it around. So I guess that is a lesson that I need to either wait a lot longer for this to be completely dry, or just be really careful when I'm going to be cutting it not to touch the center image, especially if I'm using black. And here I am changing my mind again. I decided that I wanted to have the toucan behind this frame. I want to pop this frame up because I think it's going to look better. So what I'm going to do is go back and cut out the frame. And there it is. And then I'm going to, and then I cut my little bit filled up image, but it still looks good and it's not smeared like my other one. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up the frame just a little bit to give this a little more dimension. So I will be right back with that. And I decided that I'm going to take out my Duralar, which is just like an acetate, and I'm going to cut myself a little piece of that just to make a covering over this bird behind the circular frame, and that's going to protect it when I add everything else. And glue it right to the circle I've cut out. Okay, now I've put the dots on this and I've peeled it off, and now I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. I'm going to start arranging these how I like them, and then I will be right back to show you. All right, so here is this card all finished off.